Okay, act like you didn't hear this. Okay, so mandatory spending, you have to spend it. Social Security and Medicare is mandatory for the government. Mandatory for you is the things you sign for. So mandatory spending, you have to spend it. Now discretionary spending, you get to pick it. You get to choose. For the government, military is discretionary spending. Health research is discretionary spending. Military stuff, aid for foreign countries, that's discretionary spending. For you, food, clothes, fun, that's discretionary. And if you have a ton of mandatory spending, what does that mean for your food and all that stuff? You don't have much left. Putting money away for later so you can eat and not work. How many of y'all want to eat and not work someday? I really want to eat and not work. I want to wake up someday. I love what I do. I want to wake up someday and wake up and think, okay, am I going to get up right now? Am I going to walk to the couch and sit down? Am I going to go work somewhere? Am I going to go work out? Am I going to go do that? And I want to be able to make a choice. Someday I don't want to have to get up here and have to get to here by this time and have to get here by this time and have to talk to a junior high boy at this time and have to stick my hand in filthy, slimy, dirty laundry and, get all over me. Someday I won't have to do all that. All right, is that all of that one? Okay, look back at mandatory spending. Trust me on this. I looked this up. In 1962, mandatory spending for the federal government was 26% of the budget. Is that a ton? No, really not. Fourth of the budget is if a fourth of your budget is rent and cars and water and electric bill, are you doing pretty good?
Yes.
That's real good. Do you think it's grown since then? 2022, it was 66%. 1/4 of the budget to 2/3 of the budget. And this is growing and growing. If nothing else, the interest rate, the interest payments are growing. Social Security is growing. I think Social Security and Medicare, Social Security is 20%, Medicare is 16%. There's 36 of it. There's half of it right there. Social Security and Medicare. So if the government was to get out of the Social Security business, they'd have a ton more money to do stuff with. Fiscal. When you see fiscal, it means money. Just know that word fiscal means money. Now the fiscal year for businesses is October to October. It's the accounting year, the bookkeeping year. October to October. I think they do that so they get everything finished by the time they get to taxes. So October to October. For schools, the fiscal year is September 1st to September 1st. Is there anything that goes on before September 1st? What's that? Football, cross country, volleyball, band. Maybe some other stuff. So what do people in charge of that have to do? You gotta buy stuff in the spring. Or plan to have, because there's things you need in August before September 1st. In my first year to teach, I was working for the school at maintenance during the summer, mowing, painting, all that stuff. Middle of July, I have to go start coaching. So I stopped getting a paycheck. Don't get a paycheck till the end of September. I tried to put some money back, and I did. But we got down to, I think I got the second week of September, I had like $5 or $10. So I went to the store and I bought a huge thing of tea. The tea bags that I can make tea with it. So I think I'm gonna make a ton of tea and I'm gonna drink that all day and get full. So I won't think about eating. Y'all know what sun tea is? You can make that in the refrigerator. And there's no difference. Just make it and put it in the refrigerator and come back at the end of the day and it's a full thing of tea. And it's cold already. You can put ice in it, but you don't have to. The bad thing with sun tea is you put the ice in, it changes the taste of it because it melts. But it doesn't melt in there. So there you go. Helpful hint. I make tea. And I bought 2 big bags of carrots. So I figured I could stay full with tea and I could eat carrots and that would keep me alive. Y'all's adventure the next 6-7 years, you will not have anything. You won't have food, you won't have stuff, and all you'll care about is chewing something. You think I'm an idiot, but a couple years from now when you're sitting there going, oh, I wish I could just chew something. You'd think, oh, that man was right. You won't have any food. I'm walking in the house, about 3 days to go till I get paid, and I looked over at the tree, and I remembered in Texas history that the Indians used to chew on bark. And I actually took one step and then went, I am not going to chew bark. I'm not going to chew bark. Did I tell y'all how to survive without having money for food?
Peanut butter.
What's that?
Peanut butter.
No, having no money for food. Not having a little bit. Yeah, peanut butter and jelly is a good one. Do that one. Did I tell you about the peanut butter and jelly? My first year in college, I made 15 to 20 bucks a week. I'd go back to Weatherford and I'd work this guy's yard and I'd get paid like 20 bucks. So I was gas money and there was food money for the week. Well, I would go to Mr. Getty's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because I'd go back to Weatherford to mow the guy's yard and work in his yard and Mom and Dad would give me some food. But Tuesdays and Thursdays I go to all you can eat pizza and I would eat as much as I possibly could. But then Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday and Wednesday I didn't have anything. So my roommate had peanut butter and jelly. I never liked peanut butter and jelly. But I wanted to choose something. And so I went to the store, I bought a loaf of bread, I bought a thing of jelly, and a thing of peanut butter. And I'm walking up the steps. And this is back when everything was glass. They didn't have plastic stuff. And this guy runs around the corner and runs into me, and he knocks the bag out of my hand. Psh, the jelly shatters. And I pick it up, and the top part's broken off, and there's little shards of glass in the jelly. So I could still eat it, but I would die. And I tried to pick some of them out, but you can't eat a peanut butter sandwich. So I starved that. No, you can go to...
You go sit down and you eat.
Yes. Somebody will leave a whole piece. I'm not saying you can't eat a piece somebody's bitten off of, but I wouldn't do that. Unless I was really hungry. But no, they'll leave a whole piece and go get that whole piece and they won't care. They won't care. Buy tea. We saved enough for tea. We brought enough change for tea. It's like 60 cents back then. All right. Fiscal. OMB. OMB is the Office of Management and Budget. These people work for the president. And their job is to present a budget to Congress. They send that budget to Congress. It's what they want to spend money on. How about that, Vic? They're asking Congress, here's the stuff we want. So they're Titan, and Congress is Mom. I want this, and Mom can say yes or no. Now I'm finding out, and I've known this for quite a while, there's a difference between what I say no to and what she says no to. She wants him, like, happy. I don't care about him being happy. He doesn't need this when I get this. Oh, well, shit. No, he doesn't need this. He comes running out with a Dr. Pepper and a Skittles. I'm like, no, he doesn't need that. That's the last thing he needs. Anyway, you're asking permission. Now, we have a Republican Congress and a Republican president. What does that mean for this stuff here, probably, this year? When they propose a budget to Congress, how much of it maybe could pass? A lot of it. If you got a Republican Congress, Republican president, there's not going to be as much fighting. But we need Congress to be, no, we don't need that. Why do we need Congress to be like that? Money. Okay? Anyways, I doubt that happens. Now the Congressional Budget Office. Congressional Budget Office. They do not work for Congress. They're independent. They're the ones that tell Congress and us. So they tell us, you told us this program is going to cost $12 billion. It's actually going to cost $18 billion. They're the fact checker. They tell us when things are going to be a waste of money. They tell us when things aren't going to work. So they don't work for Congress. They're independent. They report to Congress. And they fact checker. That's the thing I can say. Fact checker. So they're our friend. All right. Fiscal. What do you notice here? Are we getting done quick? Yeah. So we have some time. Next item. Fiscal policy. Did I tell you what little Christy did this morning? I get up early and I leave and I go start her bus so it's warm in the morning. And I do all my stuff and get my school stuff done. I go back up there and I sit and park and she pulls up and then we walk to the bus. I noticed she had a little napkin and it had bacon on it. I looked at the bacon. Huh? Bacon, huh? She goes, yep. So I hope your bus is warm today. See ya. I didn't have bacon today. She had bacon today. That's fine. That's okay, I guess. Well, I get it. I understand. I get it. I can't write my stuff, but maybe something. Okay, fiscal. The word fiscal means what? Money. Fiscal policy involves government spending and taxing. Fiscal policy is government spending and taxing. What color y'all want?
Green.
Green? Pink? I'll do part in pink and part in green. All right. So fiscal policy, government, taxing and spending. Wait, yeah. I took some of Titan's food money this week and bought new pens. So if they change the tax policy, what kind of policy is that? Fiscal. Yes, fiscal. If they vote a new budget in, what kind of policy is that? Fiscal. Monetary, what word is almost in monetary? Money. Monetary policy affects our ability to buy cars and houses. Now, I'm not talking about the economy. I always talk about buying cars and houses. That's what makes our economy go. People buying houses, people buying cars, that makes the economy go. Now, there's other stuff too. So, fiscal policy, let me see. No, we'll skip that. Okay, the Fed. Have you ever heard of the Fed? You have, you just don't know it. After I mention it, you're going to hear about the Fed every once in a while. The Fed is the Federal Reserve banking system. Federal Reserve banking system. Almost every bank in the country is a member of the Fed. There are three, well, let me throw this out. You don't have to write this down. There's national banks. Y'all have heard of national banks, right? And there's state banks. The only difference is, if it's a state bank, it chartered itself with the state of Texas. If it's a national bank, they chartered themselves with the federal government. No difference. One bank's not better than the other. It's just where they're headquartered or something. So there's three things the Fed can do to affect monetary policy, affect our buying and selling, or our buying and buying stuff. First thing is interest rates. What's happened to interest rates the last couple of years? They've gone down a little. When y'all were in junior high and intermediate, they were dropping. They were the lowest they've ever been. Then we had all this inflation stuff, and they had to raise interest rates a little to kind of back off inflation some. So if they raise the interest rates, what does that mean for you buying a car or buying a house? It's gonna cost more. Because if that interest rate goes up, it costs more. That means less cars and houses are bought. Harder to buy cars and houses. If they lower interest rates, what does that mean? More people buying houses and cars. You gotta trust me on this. There are times, the Fed is the brake and the accelerator. Sometimes we have to slow down the economy. Like if you're going down a big hill, you gotta tap the brakes. Sometimes you have to tap the brakes in the economy. Sometimes we gotta gas the economy. And that's how they do that. I don't know that I understand this, but in inflation, one of the things that helps inflation get bigger is low interest rates. Higher interest rates slow down inflation. That's why they raised the interest rates up a few years ago. Second thing the Fed can do is the reserve requirement. When y'all were little, say you got some money for your birthday, did anybody ever say, okay, I'm gonna take half that and put it in the bank? How many of y'all, somebody did that too? They stole your money, didn't they?
That's right.
And you were mad. I want to buy candy and silly bands and really important stuff. And they said, no, we're gonna put this back. Why'd they put it back? So you'd have some money later, so you didn't blow it on stupid stuff. This is what the Fed is doing. They're forcing banks to put a percentage of their assets. What's an asset? Something you own. It would be the money that people put in the bank. If your bank has 55 million in assets, then they would say, let's say it's 10%. Well, you got to keep 10% in the Fed. So what can the bank not do with that money? How do they make money? Yeah, they can't use it. They can't loan it out to somebody. If they loan all their money out, is there a chance they could go under? Yes. So it's to keep banks from going under, protect the banks, and protect us. So does that make sense? They have to put money in the bank. You have to have a savings account. If they raise that, what's going to happen to buying cars and houses? There's less money to loan out. So it slows the economy down. Less cars and houses. What if they lower the reserve requirement? There's more cars and houses being bought. There's more money available. This happens all the time. This really, I don't know that they ever do that very much. I've never been aware too much of it. The other thing the Fed is in charge of is the money supply. Now, I don't want to fall off this cliff. I don't know. We don't have as many dollar bills as we used to. Where's the money at?
Miss Egbert's office.
In computers. Right? In a bank, they don't have as many dollar bills. It's in, like my account is in a computer. Right? You get a direct deposit to my account. There's no money changing hands. But that money still exists. So when I talk about the money supply, some of it's dollar bills, some of it's just money that's just there. Okay? Now they do have dollar bills. Yes. Right? They do have dollar bills. They make them in Saginaw. Y'all gonna buy that little building out there? On the way to by the Dickies warehouse? Before you get to yes. That's this. That's these three things. And wherever you have it, just draw an arrow or something. As long as you got it down, we're good. You're good. You got it. Y'all ever heard of Mickey Mantle? Mickey Mantle was one of the best baseball players ever. There's about 6 or 7 of his baseball cards. And if you have one, you don't work anymore. You're rich. There's about 15, I would say there's multiple thousands of Michael Jordan rookie cards. Why is there multiple thousands of Michael Jordan rookie cards and only 5 or 6? Because people kept Michael Jordan rookie cards and put them in sleeves, in notebooks. And Mickey Mantle rookie cards got put in spokes of bicycles because they make a motorcycle sound. The less you have of something, the more valuable it is. The more you got of something, the less valuable it is. So if we add a bunch of dollars to the money supply, it's like steroids. It fixes the economy for a second, but then it destroys the economy because the value of the dollar drops because there's too many dollar bills. The old lady with the wheelbarrow in Germany after World War II with the full of dollar bills going to buy bread, Germany printed up a bunch of their dollar bills. Tons and tons of them. And so the things fell out, the value dropped. So they try to keep it balanced. Now, even though we don't have as many dollar bills, they still make dollar bills. What happens to dollar bills over time? They get tore up, they get, George Washington has a beard on it, all that kind of stuff, and they replace them. They run through the Fed and they replace those crappy dollar bills with new dollar bills. And they have different colors and stuff on them, and pictures and things. All right, last one. Let's say you get your income. You're doing your taxes. Do you pay taxes on your income?
Yeah.
No, you don't. What do you pay taxes on? Your taxable income. Yes, your taxable income. How do we get your taxable income? Look at your paper there. There's a word there. Deductions. Okay? You have your income. You subtract your write-offs, your deductions. Then that gives you your taxable income. The more write-offs you have, the more deductions you have, what does that mean for you? Less in taxes. You get to keep more of your money. Do we have the same deductions and the same write-offs? No, we don't. Based on your lifestyle. If you have 20 kids, you have a lot of write-offs. If you have 20 kids, you have a lot of bills. So that's not a financial plan. I'm gonna have a bunch of kids so I can write them off. Yeah, okay, good luck with that. But your occupation, your lifestyle, but your taxable income comes from your deductions and write-offs. What's an audit? Audit is when the IRS goes over your tax return in detail. They scrutinize your tax return. They go over it in detail. And if the IRS goes over it in detail, what are they going to find?
All this
Mistakes and problems. What's it mean for you? It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you interest. If they find a problem this year, what are they going to do? They're going to go to last year and the year before. 20 years back. And they find all that, and then you call Nick Namath, the tax lawyer, and you go to tax court, and you beg and plead, and sometimes they'll let you take some out. Anyway. And they don't look at every single tax return. They run it through a computer. If there's something weird, ding ding, red light will come on. They might pull out every 10th or 15th one and just look at it and decide it needs to be done to it. So, anywho, if you own a business, what do you have to hire? An accountant, a tax person, a bookkeeper, and not your brother. Somebody that knows what's going on. My brother does know. Good enough. Yes. Go rest. All right, now go get your stuff.